Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I don't even know who I am anymore? Like you're living someone else's life, playing a part in a movie you didn't audition for? That might sound dramatic, but for most people, it's reality. Because what if the life you're living right now isn't really yours? What if it's a version of life handed down to you by your parents, your culture, your friends, your fears, and you've just been following the script without even realizing it? That's what Carl Jung believed, and according to him, your real life doesn't even start until you find yourself. In this video, we're going deep. We're going to explore who you really are underneath the masks, the labels, and the lies. You'll discover why most people never find their true self, and how you can break that cycle. And by the end, you'll understand why Jung's work is more relevant now than ever. Let's dive in. From the moment you were born, the world started shaping you. You were given a name. You were taught what was right and wrong, what to say, what not to say, how to behave, how to belong. Your parents taught you their values. Society gave you its rules. Your school handed you expectations, and you absorbed it all. That's not your fault. That's how it works. We all need to fit in when we're young. We need approval. We want to be safe. So we adapt. And little by little, we build what Jung called the persona. The persona is the version of ourselves we show the world. It's the mask we wear to survive. It helps us fit in, get accepted, avoid rejection. But there's a problem. The more we become that mask, the more we forget who we really are underneath it. And behind that mask lives the shadow. The shadow isn't evil. It's the parts of you that got pushed down, shamed, ignored, the fear, the desire, the rage, the sensitivity, the weirdness, the rawness. Think about it. Were you ever told you were too loud, too quiet, too clingy, too emotional, too weird? So you buried those parts. But buried doesn't mean gone. The shadow doesn't disappear. It acts out in sneaky ways, through jealousy, insecurity, self-sabotage, judgment, even unexplained anxiety. Ever hated something about someone else and didn't really know why? That might be your shadow. Jung believed that when we react strongly to someone, it's often because they remind us of a part of ourselves we haven't accepted. So why does this matter? Because healing doesn't come from pretending we're fine. It comes from facing what we've hidden. Jung didn't want you to be good. He wanted you to be whole. And that means looking inside, not just at the pretty parts, but at everything. Integrating the persona and the shadow, the light and the dark. He called this process individuation, becoming the full, complete version of yourself. And let me be real, this is not a feel-good Instagram journey. It's uncomfortable. It's messy. It will challenge everything you think you know. But it will also wake you up. Here's where the problem begins. Most people don't know they're asleep. They think they found themselves because they can describe their job, their personality type, their relationship status, or their Enneagram number. But Jung would ask, is that who you are, or who you've become to survive? Real self-discovery starts when you stop asking, who am I supposed to be? And start asking, what have I forgotten about myself? See, Jung believed we aren't blank slates. We're born with a self already within us, a whole, unfiltered, powerful being. But that self gets buried under years of conditioning, fear, approval-seeking, trauma, expectations. And instead of digging to find it, we add more layers, more personas, more masks. We chase success, status, relationships, validation. But none of it fills the void. Why? Because the void isn't outside you. It's the absence of your own self. Ever felt like no matter how much you do, you still feel empty? Like something's missing? That's not failure. That's a signal. It's your true self calling you back. So how do you answer that call? You start by turning inward. Jung believed the unconscious mind was key. It holds everything you've forgotten, rejected, or suppressed. And it communicates through dreams, emotions, and symbols. Your dreams? Not random. They're messages. That recurring nightmare, the one image that won't leave you, that strange feeling you get around certain people, that's your unconscious trying to get your attention. And when you start listening, you start healing. Let's say you have a deep fear of abandonment. You might think, well, that's just who I am. I get attached. I overthink. But Jung would say, hold on. Where did that fear come from? What moment planted it in you? Maybe you were left out as a kid. Maybe your parent wasn't emotionally available. Maybe someone important vanished without warning. And your unconscious locked that memory in, buried it deep, and built a defense system around it. Now, as an adult, that same system runs in the background. It whispers, don't get too close, don't trust, don't be vulnerable. So you sabotage love, push people away, or cling too tight. And until you face the root of that fear, you'll keep repeating the pattern. But once you see it, really see it, you can choose differently. That's the magic of awareness. Awareness is where freedom starts. Jung believed that the unconscious isn't out to get us. It's trying to make us whole. But here's the thing. Wholeness doesn't mean perfection. It means integration. Think about your shadow like a scared kid hiding in a closet. You don't yell at that kid. You open the door, kneel down, and say, hey, I see you. Come out when you're ready. That's how you face your shadow. You don't fight it. You invite it in. Let's go deeper. Jung believed we aren't just shaped by our own experiences. We carry ancient patterns within us. He called this the collective unconscious. Inside it live archetypes, universal characters and energies that show up in all humans. You know them: the hero, the mother, the trickster, the sage, the rebel, the child, the lover. These archetypes play out in stories, myths, movies, and your life. The hero is the part of you that longs to grow, that wants to overcome, rise, and transform. But the hero always meets the shadow, the dragon, the demon, the fear. The story only evolves when the hero stops running and confronts the shadow. Sound familiar? That's you. Every time you hit rock bottom and rise again, you're living that myth. Jung believed that understanding these archetypes helps us make sense of our lives. Because when you realize you're not the only one going through this, you stop feeling broken. You start feeling human. Let's talk about two more powerful archetypes: the anima and the animus. Jung believed that every man has a hidden feminine energy, the anima, and every woman has a hidden masculine energy, the animus. These aren't about gender. They're about inner balance. The anima is emotion, intuition, softness, creativity. The animus is logic, action, structure, direction. When we deny one, we become unbalanced. A man who rejects his anima may suppress his emotions, avoid vulnerability, or fear softness. A woman who rejects her animus may fear independence, struggle to speak up, or doubt her strength. But when we embrace both, we become more complete. Jung believed that healing meant integrating these polarities: masculine and feminine, light and dark, persona and shadow, ego and self. That's how we become whole. And speaking of the self, Jung believed that the true self is way bigger than the ego. The ego says, "This is who I am, my name, my job, my story." But the self, it says, "You are more than you think. You are connected, evolving, infinite." And here's the twist. The ego isn't bad. It's necessary. It helps us function. But when the ego thinks it's the whole story, we get stuck. Stuck in fear, in roles, in patterns, in suffering. Jung said that the greatest illusion is the illusion of the separate self. And that illusion keeps us small. So how do we move beyond it? We let go. We stop clinging to labels, to control, to the need to be right. We start listening, paying attention, letting life teach us. And most of all, we surrender to the process. Finding yourself isn't a checklist. It's a lifelong unfolding. You will shed layers, again and again. You will forget and remember, and forget again. But every time you turn inward, every time you choose truth over comfort, you get a little closer to the real you. And the real you isn't someone you create. It's someone you reclaim. So here's what I want you to know. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are on the path, and the path is within you. Keep going. Keep questioning. Keep remembering. Because life doesn't begin when you're born. It begins when you find yourself. Thanks for watching.